Come to a comfortable seated or kneeling position on your mat, then close your eyes, and I'm going to initiate the class with my sounding bowl. So just wriggle around until you find a comfortable seat. Close your eyes and place your hands either in your lap or on your knees, whatever feels most comfortable to you. Very good. If your hands were in your lap, then place them on your knees with your wrists down, palms facing up. Let's come into Pran Mudra, thumbs, index finger, ring finger and pinky finger. They touch each other on the fingertips, and index finger and middle finger are lightly stretched away from the palm of your hand. And gently tug your chin down towards your chest so that you can feel just a minor stretch along your neck, and gently tug those shoulder blades down towards your tailbone. And then travel down your spine with your attention and see that you are not in a hollow back, but gently contracting your core muscles. And then go all the way down to your sit bones and connect with your mat in the center of the earth. Relax your thighs and hip joints. And then travel all the way up your spine, through your lumbar, up to your upper back. Gently squaring your shoulders, elongate your neck a tad bit more, and then reaching that crown chakra up towards the ceiling, obviously lifting your chin away from your chest. On your next inhale, place your hands in Anjalina Mudra in front of your chest, thumbs lightly touching your forehead. Again, lower your forehead down towards your fingertips and think of a mantra, dedication, or wish to guide you through today's class, maybe the rest of the day, and maybe all of next week. Once you've come up with a mantra, dedication, or wish, repeat it to yourself 3 times. And then slowly open your eyes, reach your arms up above your head, interlace your fingers, turn your palms facing up, and stretch all the way from your hip bones along your side bodies, armpits and arms, gazing up towards the ceiling, feeling the discs in between your vertebra, broadening and lengthening. Exhale, come on down, twist your wrists away from your body, gently tugging your shoulders away from your ears, and take your chin down towards your chest, feeling the stretch along your arms, across your shoulder girdle, and maybe in between your shoulder blades. Let's inhale, go on one more time. Reach up, grow long, relaxing your thighs and your hip bones. And exhale, come on down again, tugging your chin closer towards your chest, pulling your shoulders away from your ears, and maybe widening that space in between your shoulder blades by gently rounding that upper back of yours. On the next inhale, reach your fingertips out to the side, spreading those fingers, feeling the stretch across the palm of your hands. Make sure that your arms are horizontal to the mat, your shoulders are relaxed away from the ears, and maybe even gently tug those tips of the shoulder blades down towards your tailbones, so you'll feel a gentle stretch just along those muscles alongside your spine. And then exhale, go wrap those arms around your body, pulling your shoulders away from your ears, tugging your chin down towards your chest, and feel that stretch between your shoulder blades and maybe along your neck. Release any tension you're holding in your abdomen. On the next inhale, go out again. Reach those fingertips out. Feel the stretch all the way into your elbows. And then take those arms behind your body, opening your chest. And while we're back there, rotate the shoulders back and then take your hands behind your lower back, interlace the fingers and pull those hands down towards your mat. So you'll feel a stretch across your shoulder girdle, down your bicep, maybe all the way into your arm, and then tug your chin down towards your chest. Obviously not all in one breath, just keep breathing, pulling those arms down, opening that chest. On the next inhale, release those arms, bring the arms horizontal again, and then hug yourself the other way, arm at the top. This time, broadening those shoulders in the upper back and then pulling the shoulders away from your ears and tugging your chin down towards your chest. The next inhale, let go, rotate those shoulders. We'll do a gentle twist, really gentle. Taking your left hand onto your right knee, take your right hand behind your tailbone, pressing your upper arm, your bicep against your upper back to elongate and stabilize your back. Pulling both shoulders away from your ears, and then exhale, twist over to your right side, using your left hand as leverage to twist some more. Your gaze goes down towards your right shoulder. If you want to tug your chin down towards your right shoulder, you'll feel a nice stretch from your left ear all the way down to your left shoulder. 2 more. Inhale, lengthen your spine, keeping that gaze towards your right shoulder. Exhale, twist a bit more. Be gentle with your body. Do as much as feels okay. We're still warming up. Last inhale, lengthen. And twist. And you'll feel that twist from your mid-body all the way up to your shoulders. On the next inhale, look forward. Exhale, twist your body forward and feel that twist in that muscle that we just stretched on that right side. Take your right hand, place it onto your left knee. Lengthen your spine. Take your left hand behind your tailbone, pressing your bicep against your upper ribs in the back, pulling both shoulders away from your ears. And then exhale, gaze over to your left shoulder, pulling your chin down towards that left shoulder. Using your right hand on that knee, on the left knee as leverage, twisting a bit more. 2 more inhales, lengthen. And twist, exhale. Here again, you'll feel that stretch. If you're tugging your chin down towards your left shoulder, you'll feel the stretch from your right earlobe down towards your right shoulder. Last inhale, lengthen. And exhale, twist. The next inhale, slowly turn your head forward. And exhale, bring the rest of the body forward, rotating your shoulders in both directions. Very good. Take your right hand, place it next to your right thigh, rooting down through both your sit bones. Inhale, reach your left arm up, feeling that stretch all the way up through your side body, really pulling your shoulder up towards your ear, pulling or pushing your left hip bone down. So you'll feel an added stretch between your left hip bone and your left lower ribs. And on the exhale, we're going to start to bend as well again from your left hip first up towards your left ribs, and only then from the ribs to your shoulders, and then from your shoulders into the arm, pressing firmly into the right hand, into that mat. Use it as leverage. Either look straight forward or gaze up towards the ceiling to keep that left shoulder open. Really feel that stretch between the hip bone and the ribs. It's easy to stretch your arms and shoulders, but the obliques are very difficult to stretch. On the inhale, come back, exhale your left hand down. And maybe you'll already feel the difference between your left side body and your right side body. Press your left hand down into the mat. Inhale, reach your right arm up, firmly pressing or pushing that right hip bone down towards and into the mat. grow long, pulling that right shoulder up towards your ear, and then exhale, start bending from your right hip into your right obliques, into your right ribs, and only then start pulling that shoulder up towards your ear, and then pull that right arm over your head. Here as well, either gaze forward or gaze up towards the ceiling to keep the right shoulder open, using your left hand as leverage, firmly pressing into it so that both hips are pressing down towards the mat, and you'll feel that stretch between your right hip bone and your right lower ribs. You might also feel an opening in your iliosacral joint. Very good if you have any lower back pain from sitting too long. Inhale, come back, exhale, right arm down. Let's do one more on each side. Inhale, up on the left side. Exhale, start bending from your left side body down at the obliques, pressing firmly into the right hand on the mat, and then gaze up towards the ceiling, pressing your left hip bone down. So you'll feel that stretch. Inhale, come back, exhale, left arm down. Inhale on the right side, and then start bending from the obliques up into your armpit, and then stretch that right arm, gazing up towards the ceiling. Inhale, come back, exhale, take that arm down, rotate your shoulders, and stretch those legs out. Very good. Okay, let's come into a tabletop. Turn your hands so that your fingertips are facing your knees, your fingers are splayed, your pinky fingers are touching. Make sure that your knees are hip distance apart. Those of you who have been in my classes for quite some time, they know what's going to come. Press all 10 fingers firmly into the mat, rotating the shoulders back. Your core is slightly tight. You're gazing down towards the mat. And we just gently and easily going to sway back and forward. So we're shifting our upper body weight behind our wrists and in front of our wrists. And the movement in front of the wrist is minimal. So we're more aiming at moving our glutes down towards our heels, and just go sway back and forth, and you'll feel that stretch across your hands, in your wrists, and all the way alongside the lower arms into your elbows. And just as a comparison, relax your shoulders and allow them to come forward towards your ears, and then do the same movement. You'll feel the stretch will be minimized. So that's not what we want. Come again to the front where your shoulders are exactly above your wrists. Pull the shoulders away from your ears, shoulder blades going down towards your tailbone, and then sway back and forth. Again, we'll do another 2, 1, and 1 for good measure. And now just start to sit down onto your heels, but leave the palms of your hands on the mat for as long as possible, and slowly roll over your palms of your hands and fingers, and then come to sit onto your heels, placing the palms of your hands or your hands into your lap, and just relax those shoulders, arms, and hands, and enjoy that tingly sensation across the palms of your hands and fingers, maybe even all the way up into your arms, depending on how big the stretch was. And then start wriggling your fingers just to get that blood flowing again. And we're going to go back onto that mat. And this time we're going to turn the hand upside down. So the top of your hand is going to come onto the mat. Again, we're going to splay our fingers. All 10 fingernails are going to press firmly into the ground. And it's easiest if you don't look down. I have noticed that if you look down, you think like, this is not supposed to work. This is going to hurt. So just gaze forward, look at something that tickles your fancy, and then try to firmly press the thumbnail into the mat. Okay, and now you're going to rotate your shoulders backwards away from your ears, and you're going to turn the eye of the elbow away from you, so it shows in the same direction as your nose. If it's 2 of you in the same room, then you can be each other's mirror. Now, once you've achieved that position, you already feel the stretch across the top of your hand into the lower arm, all the way into your elbow. And we're going to do the same thing again. Shoulders are pulled away from your ears. Maybe your belly button's lightly tucked against your spine. And we're going to sway backwards and forwards. Move more backwards towards your heels than forward, or else you're going to have too much weight on your wrists. Try not to fall into a hollow back, because that will negate any benefit we're getting from this stretch. Going to do another 3 and keep breathing. 2, always use your breath to move through a movement. And on the last one, slowly roll over the top of your hands. Come to sit onto your heels and allow the palms of your hands just to rest on your lap. Rotate your shoulders backwards and forwards, or just wriggle them just to get some movement into them. And enjoy that tingly feeling in your hands. And then wriggle your fingers and rotate those wrists gently in both directions. Wrists, hands, and feet and toes are things we hardly ever stretch. So while we're doing that, we're just going to take our hands behind our body. Fingertips are facing your toes. You're going to open the chest. Inhale into your belly. Rotate your shoulders back and move that heart chakra up towards the ceiling. Open that throat up towards the ceiling as well. If you do not feel comfortable with allowing the back of your head to drop between your shoulders, just gaze up towards the ceiling, opening up that chest, feeling the stretch across the palms of your hands, along your arms, and all the way into your shoulders. If you are okay and healthy in your lumbar spine, press your belly button away as well. So you're going into a hollow back, opening up the entire front side of your body. Inhale, and the next exhale, relax that posture. Slowly come up again, and then tug those toes under and gently just sit on those toes, transferring your upper body weight just above your hips, and maybe even leaning backwards a bit so that you'll feel the stretch along your toes and all the way up the soles of your feet. On the next inhale, come up, come forward again, come into tabletop, splaying your fingers. Your thumbs are about 2 or 3 centimeters apart. Try to get an L letter between your thumb and your index finger. Rotate those shoulders back and tighten that core. And whether you have that foot that's resting on the mat flat or toes tucked under, I'll leave that up to you. We're going to stretch that left foot. The toes are pointed, and we're going to stretch the right arm out as well. Grow long on the diagonal. And the one thing that's holding you balanced is your core. So keep that nice and tight. And we're going to stay here for another 3 breaths. And 2. And last one. And on the exhale, let's change sides. Stretch your right leg out, point the toes, and either tuck the toes of your left foot under or leave them flat on the mat. I'll leave that up to you. And then reach that left arm out and grow on a diagonal. Feel that nice stretch from the left fingertips all the way down to the right toes. And keep the core nice and tight, lengthening that right arm that's balancing your right side of your body. And we're going to stay here for 3 breaths. And 2 more. And last one. And exhale, take the hand and knee down again. Move your knees to the edge of the mat and come into a wide knee child's pose, allowing your glutes to rest down onto your heels and lower your chest and chin down towards the mat. On the inhale, you're going to reach those fingertips away, lengthening from your sit bones along your back into your shoulders, arms, and all the way to your fingertips. If it's not comfortable to rest your chin on the mat, then put your cheek left or right onto the mat, whatever feels most comfortable to you. Allow your belly and lower abdominals to sink down in between your thighs, feeling the opening in your lower back. I'm going to stay here for 3 breaths. And 2 more. And last one. Inhale, come forward, tugging your knees under your hips again. Walk your hands away and come into puppy pose. Your glutes go up towards the ceiling. Make sure your knees are hip width apart. And your hands can be a bit wider than shoulder width apart. Splaying your fingers so that you have more surface area. Your arms are engaged and allow your chest to drop down towards the mat. I'm going to stay here for 3 breaths. You'll feel the opening across your chest and in your armpits and along your upper arms. There should be a relief in your lumbar spine. Last inhale. On the next inhale, coming back up, walk your hands under your shoulders and come into a cat, rounding your upper back, tugging your tailbone under, and allowing your neck and head to grow heavy, and surrender that weight down towards the mat. You can tug your belly button back towards your spine to be able to round that lower back some more. Firmly press the palms of your hands into the mat so you'll feel your arms growing long and your shoulder blades reaching up towards the ceiling. Last inhale here, feeling the lengthening of your spine. And exhale. You might even feel a stretch between your earlobes and your shoulders. On your next inhale, come back to a neutral spine and come down into a normal child's pose, either walking your hands away from your body or resting them next to your thighs and allowing your abdomen, shoulders, and neck to grow heavy and allow them to drop down towards the mat. Here again, if it is not comfortable to have your forehead on your mat, just turn your head to either side, but allow those shoulders to grow really heavy and to droop down towards or even into your neck. Most of the time, we're keeping those shoulders nice and square, but in this case, allow them to grow soft and heavy, as well as your abdomen. Again, you'll feel a nice opening in your lumbar spine. And your sit bones are either traveling down towards your heels or even touching your heels. 2 more breaths here. And last breath. Try to always make that exhale longer than your inhale. On the next inhale, firmly press your shins into the mat. Tug your chin towards your chest and slowly come up to a kneeling position. Rotate those shoulders backwards and forwards, and then come forward with your hands. Tug your toes under and come into your first plank. If being in a plank is too strenuous today, then just lower your knees down and flatten those toes. Then your shoulders and wrists and hands only have to carry half the body weight. Okay? If you are in plank, make sure that your shoulders are just above your wrists, your fingers are splayed, your shoulders are pulled away from your ears, and your legs are engaged, and your heels are pulling away from your body. Your core automatically starts to engage. Very good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, push back into the first downward facing dog. Walk that dog. Pedal those ankles. And as our hands are already shoulder width apart, you just rotate your upper arms, widening those shoulders, pulling the shoulder blades down towards your tailbone. Your feet are hip distance apart, and you're gazing down towards your knees or thighs or even belly, depending on how long and limber you feel in your neck today. Let's give that head a bit of a shake and a nod, just to loosen up any possible tension that we have accrued in our neck since we got up this morning. Let's find some stillness. If the legs are not straight, that does not matter. Bend your knees as long as you can feel that beautiful stretch from the fingertips all the way down into your glutes. You will also feel that stretch in your hamstrings like this. If your legs are straight, pull your kneecaps into your quads to engage them. And maybe allow those sit bones to get a glimpse of the ceiling. For those of you who have the heels on the ground, on the next inhale, let's raise those toes off the mat and you'll feel your shin muscles engaging. Exhale those toes down. Let's inhale, lift the heels off the ground, allowing our chest to travel even closer to the thighs. And then exhale those heels down. Inhale, look forward. Let's move into plank, undulating like a wave, pulling those shoulders away from your ears. Engage the legs. Exhale back into downward facing dog. Let's do that a couple more times. 3 more. Inhale, come forward. Slowly feel that spine engage, shoulders away, gaze goes down. Exhale. Use your core muscles to pull yourself into that downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do one more for good measure. Inhale, plank. Exhale. Downward facing dog, walk that dog and take those ankles, knees, and hips along. If you want to take your shoulders along to open that upper part of your body as well, gazing under your upper arm towards the ceiling, alternating your legs. Very good. And really use that breath. On the exhale, stretch that body. On the inhale, change sides. Exhale, stretch. You might feel a nice stretch on the outside of your hips, depending on whether you're actually pressing your extended leg side hip out towards the side. Just play around with that downward facing dog, a very versatile position. And then let's come to a standing and peaceful dog. Give that head a nod and a shake again. And then inhale, look forward and slowly walk towards your hands. Your feet are hip distance apart, which is 2 fists next to each other. And then either your legs are stretched or bent. That does not matter. Just allow your upper body to simply hang there. And you'll feel that stretch all the way in the backside from your heels, ankles, hamstrings into your glutes. And you'll feel a relief in your lower back. Tucking your chin towards your chest, allow the shoulders, neck, and head to surrender their weight down towards the mat. If you want to hold on to your elbows and gently sway from side to side, you can do that as well. You feel a slight twisting and opening of the hip joints here. If you had your elbows in your hands, let go. Bend your knees and then slowly and mindfully uncurl your body, keeping your core nice and tight to protect your lower back, and come into a standing position. Reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling, taking your shoulders up towards your ears. Feel that lengthening from your hips all the way into those shoulders. And we're going to exhale. We're going to bend over to that right side, keeping everything from your belly button downwards to your toes. Nice and tight. Gaze up towards the ceiling. Inhale, come back. Reach fingertips up towards the ceiling. Your ears are right next, no, your arms are right next to your ears. And exhale, come over to the left. Feel the opening on that right side body. Inhale, come back. And exhale, take your hands and shoulders down so that we come into Anjalina Mudra. Let's come to the front of your mat. Your toes are either parallel or facing each other, heels are apart. Your legs are engaged. Your tailbone is slightly tucked under. Your belly is engaged. Inhale, reach your arms up. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Swan dive, forward fold. Your knees are either stretched or bent. I'll leave that up to you. You can alternate. Inhale, come into a half lift. Your legs are nicely engaged and straight. Try to get a 90-degree angle between your lower body and your upper body. You're gazing straight down. Shoulders are pulled away from your ears. Exhale, step back into plank with your left foot. Here as well, if plank is not working for you today, take your knees down, flatten your toes, bending your elbows, come into chaturanga, keeping those elbows close to your rib cage, flatten your entire body down onto that mat. Rotate your shoulders back on your next inhale and push up into a small cobra. Tucking your toes under, push up onto your knees, elbows are still close towards your your rib cage, and then come up into downward facing dog. Walk that dog. Firmly pressing the palms of your hands into that mat, moving your chest down towards your legs. Come to stillness. Inhale, look forward, step or hop towards your hands and come into a half lift. Gazing down to the mat, shoulders are rotated away from your ears. And then exhale, come into a forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up, reaching your fingertips up, shoulders down, and away from your ears. Exhale into Anjalina Mudra. Let's go again. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, swan dive down into a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale down and come into a plank with your right foot. All the way down to chaturanga. Your elbows are really close towards your rib cage. Inhale, rotate your shoulders and come up into upward facing dog or cobra. If you are an upward facing dog, your legs are engaged, your core muscles are engaged. Exhale, pull yourself back into downward facing dog. Let's stay here for 2 breaths and really stretch that entire backside of your body, from your heels into your pelvis, all the way up along your back, into your shoulders, which are nice and square, all the way into your fingertips. Imagine somebody is gently tugging your pelvis away from your shoulders, elongating that space between shoulders and hip. Your intestines are slipping up towards your diaphragm, giving your lower abdomen space. On the next inhale, look forward and hop or step towards your fingers and come into a half lift, rotating your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, forward fold. Whether your legs are straight or bent here, it does not matter. Inhale, come up into a standing position. Take your shoulders down on your exhale, hands in front of your heart center. Inhale, let's go up one more time. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Gaze down. Exhale, step back, whatever foot works for you best. Come down into chaturanga, elbows close to your ribcage, up into upward facing dog, and back into downward facing dog. Walk that dog. Bring some movement into those knees and hips. Let's get cracking here. Very good. Come to stillness on the next inhale. Reach that left foot up towards the ceiling.
Make sure that your upper body is still in downward facing dog and don't open up. So pull your left shoulder towards your right thigh, reaching the toes of your left foot up towards the ceiling, still firmly pressing into the palms of your hands. Very good. Bend that left knee, open that left hip by dropping your left heel behind your right hip, still in up downward facing dog with your upper body. Feel that stretch in your inner thigh on your right leg. On the next inhale, stretch that right leg, left leg again. Bend that left leg, bring that knee towards your nose, come into a three-legged plank. Inhale, move that left leg up again. Exhale, come forward with that knee again. One more time, inhale, lift that left foot up towards the ceiling. Feel that beautiful stretch. Exhale that knee forward, and now we're going to tip that left leg over and stretch it out under your right arm. Inhale, bring that left knee back. Bring that left foot up one more time and exhale that left foot down. Walk that dog. Left side is beautifully stretched now. Find some stillness. And then on the next inhale, reach that right foot up. Stretching that right leg all the way up towards the ceiling. Toes are pointed. Closing your right shoulder by gently turning your upper body towards your left thigh. Firmly pressing into the hands. Grow long, feel that stretch in your left inner thigh, then bend that right knee and opening that right hip by dropping your heel behind your left hip. If you gaze under your left arm, you might actually see your foot or toes. Keep the chest closed, firmly still pressing into the palms of your hands. On the next inhale, reach that right foot up towards the ceiling again. And then exhale, bend that right knee and come into a three-legged plank, moving your right knee towards your nose. Inhale that foot up towards the ceiling again. Feel that stretch in your left inner thigh. Exhale, come forward with your knee. One more time. Inhale up. Stretch that toe, the toes up towards the ceiling. Exhale, come forward. And now twist over to the side, stretching that right leg under your left arm. Come back. Inhale, stretch your right foot up towards the ceiling one last time. And then exhale it down onto the mat, walking that dog. Both sides are beautifully stretched. Give that head a nod and a shake. Using those ankles, knees, and hips just to bring movement into your lower body, and then come to stillness, allowing your chest to travel down towards your thighs. Gaze goes to thighs, your belly button, your thighs are engaged if your legs are straight. Inhale, look forward, and slowly walk or hop towards your hands. Come into a half lift, gazing down towards the mat. And exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees and allow your lower abdomen to rest on those thighs. Shoulders are round. Neck and head are traveling down towards the mat. With your attention, travel into the soles of the feet and see that your entire body weight is evenly distributed across both entire soles of your feet. Not just the heel, not just the toes, but all across the soles of your feet. Take your chin towards your chest so that you can stretch your neck. And on the next inhale, just stretch your legs and make sure your feet are hip distance apart. So just take both fists and place them in between your feet. We're going to take the right hand and place it in between our feet. I'm going to take that left hand and place it on our lower back. We're going to bend that right knee, lengthen that spine. spine. So imagine somebody's pulling a red ribbon out of the crown of your head. Your shoulders are pulling away from your ears, and on the exhale, we're going to open up to the left side, gaze up towards the ceiling, and stretch your left hand up towards that ceiling. So you'll feel the twist from your belly button all the way into your shoulders or your neck. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, take that left hand down, place it in between your feet. Stretch both legs. Take your right hand on your lower back. Inhale, lengthen. Pulling your shoulders away from your ears, bend that left knee, and exhale, open up to the right, gazing up towards the ceiling, and then reach your right hand up towards that ceiling. As well, here, feeling that twist from your belly button all the way into your shoulders, maybe even into your neck. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come down. One more on each side. Inhale, lengthen. Place that left hand on the small of your back, bending your right leg. And then exhale, open up towards that left side. Reaching your left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, come on down, change sides. Inhale, lengthen that spine. Place your right hand on the small of the back. Bend your left knee and exhale, open up towards your right side, pulling that right shoulder away from your ears, and then reach your right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, come on down. And allow your body to simply hang there, feeling that beautiful opening in your lumbar spine, and gently transfer your weight to your toes. Your hands are hopefully resting on the ground. If they can't, just bend your legs. I want you to just transfer your weight towards your toes, maybe gently lifting the heels off the ground. And then transfer the weight backwards onto your heels, lifting your toes. That's much easier. Falling backwards is not as scary as falling forward. And then come to center. And with the next inhale, we're going to slowly uncurl and come into a standing position, taking your hands up towards the ceiling, taking your shoulders along, and on the exhale, pull the shoulders down away from your ears and hands come in front of your heart center. Anjalina Mudra. Very good. Let's come on to our mat. I'll turn towards the camera so that you can see. We did this on Wednesday already. Take the palm, either take the sole of your foot and push it against your left inner thigh, or take your ankle and place it onto your left thigh with your heel pressing into your hip flexor. Try to sit nice and square with your hips. Both sit bones are firmly pressing into the ground. If there is a need to move the beautiful fleshy bits away from your sit bones, then do so. Your left leg is engaged. Your feet, your left foot is flexed. I'll turn over to the side again so that you'll see. Sit one-legged Paschimottanasana. It's not the name, but I'll give that to you. We're going to inhale, reach up through your side bodies, growing long, and we are going to exhale from our hips. So we are pulling forward from our sternum. We're going to keep our lower back as straight for as long as possible. So if 2 millimeters or 5 centimeters is what you can do today, that is fine. Stretch as much as you can, plus 10%. Okay? We're reaching forward with our fingertips, moving towards our feet, maybe surpassing our feet, and then allowing the palms of our hands to rest onto the mat. Pull those shoulders away from the ears so that you'll feel a stretch in your back alongside your spine. Inhale, we're lengthening that spine, and if you want to pull your belly button back towards your spine, you'll see that you can bend further. So on the inhale, we're lengthening the spine. On the exhale, we're moving downwards and forwards. And when you've reached the point where you say you can't move down any further, relax your head down towards the leg on the left side. You'll feel an opening across the entire back in your hip area. You'll feel a stretch in your left hamstring as well. On the next inhale, gaze towards your flexed toes and slowly use your hands to move back so that your upper body weight is just above your hip bone. Take your right leg and stretch it. And do the same thing with the left. So either the left sole of your foot's pressing into your right inner thigh, and you're moving up and lengthening through your side body, exhaling forward, or you're placing your left ankle onto your right thigh. Your left heel goes in where your right hip flexor is. Your right leg is engaged, your right foot is flexed. You're inhaling, lengthening through your side body, exhaling, moving forward past your feet, and then planting the palms of your hands on the mat. Inhale, tugging your belly button back towards your spine, lengthening the spine as well. And then exhale your upper body down towards your right leg, and then relaxing your head down towards your shin. Allow those hips to relax. And the next inhale, gaze towards your toes and slowly use your hands to walk back until your upper body weight is above your hips. And then stretch your left leg out too. We're going to do the same thing with both stretched legs. Move the fleshy bits away from your sit bones. Your legs are engaged, your feet are flexed. We're going to inhale, that lengthen through our side bodies. Your belly button is tucked back towards your spine, and we're going to lengthen and guide those hands towards or past your feet. And then place the palms of your hands onto the mat. On the inhale, we're going to lengthen that spine. On the exhale, we're going to lower that chest down towards the thighs, and then relax your head down towards your knees or shins. You'll feel the stretch along your hamstrings all the way into your glutes, in your lower back, all the way up to your shoulders. I'm going to stay here for 3 breaths, inhaling, lengthening that spine. Exhale, allow the chest to travel down towards your legs. And 2 more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, down. To really allow that neck and head to sink down towards your thighs. On your next inhale, gaze towards your flexed toes and slowly, with the help of your hands, move your upper body weight above your hips. Allow those shoulders, neck, and head still to be rounded. And only on the next inhale, start straightening your spine from your sit bones through your lumbar into your middle back, upper back, squaring your shoulders, and then gazing forwards, rotate your shoulders backwards and forwards. And then grab your feet and come into Bakasana. The distance, the soles of your feet are touching, and the distance between your upper body and lower body is the length of your upper body. What we're going to do is we are going to start rounding from our tailbone through our lumbar spine, relaxing those hips. Your hands can be either next to your feet or behind your body, depends. Let go of your abdomen and the muscles in your core, and then slowly tugging your chin towards your chest, we are going to aim at getting the crown of our head into that little groove formed by the 2 soles of your feet. If that is not possible and you can only bend over 1 centimeter, that is fine. Just let go of any tension in your thighs and in your hip and in your abdomen. So the minute you let go here in your thighs and hips, and you start rounding your back and then transferring your weight in front of your sit bones. Then the top of your head will slowly but surely be able to rest towards or into that groove. Relax your hands, your shoulders, your entire body is relaxed. Any possible tension in your hip joint is released. And we're going to stay here for 5 breaths. If this does not feel comfortable, stack your fists and rest your forehead on your stacked fists. Or take a book or a block, a bolster, anything that can take that weight off your hips and lower back. This is a hip opening exercise as well as an inner thigh lengthening. It also opens your iliosacral joint. As long as you're here, feel comfortable, that's what we're aiming for. And while you're relaxing in this position and using your breath to release, travel into your hip joints with your attention and see whether there's any small space where you're unconsciously holding on to. Let it go. Let it soften. And you'll feel that with each and every exhale, your body will become softer. Your hips will become wider and looser. You might be able to take one fist or one book away. And really make use of that exhale, allowing all the air to escape from your body until that natural inhale happens. In everyday life, we just breathe. It happens normally, naturally, automatically, but we don't pay any attention to it. So most of the breathing is very shallow and superficial. So by consciously inhaling and filling the body with fresh oxygen, lengthening the muscles, and exhale, allowing all of the spent air to leave our body, we soften our muscles. We soften our mind. Let's do 2 more here. Inhale. And exhale. You'll feel it opening across the lower back, maybe even across your glutes. Inhale. And last long exhale here. Your next inhale, plant the palms of your hands onto the ground and press into the palms of the hands, shifting your upper body weight back towards your hips so it can be stacked above your hips, and then gently and slowly move your hands back towards your pelvis or groin and just allow that upper body weight to balance above your hips until you feel comfortable. Sit bones are firmly grounding into that mat. And then with your next inhale, or when you're ready, slowly start lengthening and straightening your spine through your lumbar. Be gentle into your middle of the back and your shoulders. And then look forward and rotate your shoulders backwards and forwards. And then use your hands to slowly close that gap between them. And across your knees, place your hands behind your body and gently sway from side to side. Just closing your hip joints, uncross and recross. And then perhaps shift down towards the lower end of your mat. Come on to your
back and gently hug those knees towards your chest and roll from side to side. Lengthen your neck by tucking your chin down towards your chest. If you want to draw circles with your knees, do so in both directions. And then holding on to your left knee, stretch your right leg out, pointing those toes of both feet. Lengthen your entire spine, flush with the mat, and tug that left knee towards your chest. That will automatically push your lumbar spine into that mat, giving you a relief in your lower abdominals, and stretch through your right side, lengthening that right leg and feel the opening in that hip flexor. Pull both shoulders away from your ears and both shoulder blades are flush with the mat. On the next inhale, change sides, hugging your right knee towards your chest, lengthening your left side, opening that psoas. Toes are pointed of both feet. Pull the shoulders away from your ears and press those shoulder blades firmly into the mat, tugging your chin down towards the chest. That will gently push that lumbar spine into the mat. Feel that relief. On the next inhale, hug both knees towards your chest and roll from side to side. And then stretch both legs up, pointing your toes first. Reach those fingertips up towards the ceiling too. And then flex your wrists and your feet. Toes are flexed, displaying the 10 toes and 10 fingers. Your arms and legs are engaged, tucking your chin down towards your chest. Your head, the back of your head, all the way down towards your tailbone are flush with the mat. Keep those arms nice and strong. Keep the legs nice and strong. Another 4, 3, 2, 1. And shake it all out. Shake those arms and legs and toes and fingers and hand, whatever needs to be shaken, just shake it all out. If you want to wriggle your head on the mat, then you do so for another 4, 3, 2, 1. This is always underrated. Really go and shake it really hard until you feel like arms and legs are going to fly off, and then slowly allow those legs and arms to rest down onto the floor. Palms of your hands are still flush with the floor. We're going to inhale into our belly. We're going to arch our back. Pull that breath up into our chest, and then raise the shoulders off the mat so your upper body weight is held by the back of your head, the palms of your hands and your glutes, and you'll feel that beautiful opening along the front side of your body. On your exhale, you're going to slowly lower those shoulders down onto the mat, lengthen your neck, and then allow the rest of your spine to slowly undulate onto that mat. And lastly, pressing your lumbar spine into the mat, feel a stretch in your psoas. Your pelvis is slightly tilted. And we're going to go again. Inhale into your belly, arch that back. Pull the breath up into your chest, raise those shoulders off, balancing on the back of your head, the palms of your hands and your glutes. Your legs are engaged, point those toes. And exhale, slowly lower the shoulders down onto the mat again. Lengthen the neck by tucking your chin towards your chest and slowly place those shoulder blades onto the mat. Turn the palms up and then undulate the rest of your spine down onto the mat, pressing the lumbar into the mat, tilting your pubic bone up towards the ceiling, and then relax your entire body onto the mat. Allow your ankles and feet to fall outward. Make sure you're warm enough so that we can float into Shavasana. Much deserved today. Your feet and ankles, relax. Your shins and knees, relax. Your thighs, your hips, relax. Your belly, your chest, relax. Your shoulders, your arms, relax. Your wrists, the palm of your hands, your fingers, relax. Your neck, the back of your head, relax. Your forehead, your eyebrows, the space between your eyebrows, relax. The tip of your nose, your lips, your chin, relax. Your cheeks, your ears, relax. Allow your entire body to grow heavy. Sink into the mat and relax. With your next inhale, slowly bring your attention back onto the mat, into your body, and acknowledge your surroundings. Bring small movements into your fingers and toes. With the next inhale, reach those arms above your head and give your body a nice full stretch from the toes all the way along your body to the tip of your fingers. When you're ready, gently hug one knee after the other towards your chest, gently swaying from side to side. And then roll into embryo pose on either the left or the right side, curled into a small ball, not holding on to any body part at all, allowing that calmness to spread throughout you. With your next inhale, then when you're ready, come up to a comfortable seated position, rooting down through your sit bones, keeping your eyes closed. Taking your thumb ring and pinky fingertip towards each other, index and middle finger gently stretched away, Lengthen that spine one more time, relaxing your thighs, hips, and abdominals. Shoulders are relaxed away from your ears. Your chin is gently tugged towards your chest, and your forehead is at ease. And take your attention for a journey throughout your body. Should you encounter any dis-ease or discomfort, accept it and acknowledge it on your inhale. And then let it free and go on your exhale. And repeat as often as necessary. Then on your inhale, take your hands into Anjalina Mudra in front of your heart center. Thumbs lightly touching your sternum. Lower your forehead down towards your fingertips. And thank yourself for the effort and time you invested in the best person, yourself. Then recall your dedication mantra or wish from beginning of the class and repeat it to yourself 3 times. And then move your thumbs up to your forehead. In gratitude and love, I realize who I am. And take them down to your heart center. In gratitude and love, I realize what I have and what I have to give. And then take your palms and rest them in your lap, your left palm on top of your right. Thank you for joining my class. Open your eyes if and when you're ready. And have a beautiful Sunday.